Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Chihiro. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's get into today's video. Today I'll be taking you on a little tattoo tour of my experience of getting tattoos for over 11 years now. My first ever tattoo experience was when I was 15 years old. I was living in China at the time and I went to Beijing with my brother for holidays. Yes. He was getting a small tattoo and he asked me if I wanted one as well, and I wasn't really thinking so much about it, so I said, yeah, why not? And he asked me, well, what do you want to get? So I said, I'll just get what you're getting. So that turned out to be kind of our brother, sister, sibling tattoo, and I still cherish it today. A couple years down the line, my interest for tattoos grew, and I decided to start getting a few tattoos in Chiang Mai, Thailand, because they were relatively affordable for a high school student like me. Now, these were some of my first experiences, so I didn't do any research. I just walked into the tattoo studio and said, I want this, and I got it done. Now that meant sometimes the quality wasn't the best. For example, the one on my wrist here, it was done in like maybe an hour. It's just this little small symbol here. It was very painful. It didn't heal too well, so I did have to touch it up myself a couple years down the line. But that's usually what happens when you start getting tattoos. Now, of course, I didn't tell my parents about these tattoos. I wasn't really the type to do that. I would just come home and be like, I got a new tattoo. Of course, they didn't appreciate it as my mom is Asian, but I did what I want. I was a very rebellious kid. When I was 16 years old, I really wanted to get my next tattoo after the first one, so I decided to get this flower here. It was just this part as for now, and later on I added this skull thing here, but this one I just copied from the internet and I'm not really too happy about it, but it's not so terrible, so I just kept it and I was like, yeah, this is a memory of how I was when I was 16, 17, so it's all good. For my 18th birthday, I decided to save up some money and get a nice big piece because I was living in Thailand and there's so much art there, it's so inspirational, so I thought that it would be fitting to get the Year of the Tiger, which is my Chinese year animal, and get it tattooed at a place that I did actually some research with. This was my first big tattoo. It took around 3 sessions to complete and it was quite painful. It's a sensitive area on the hip, but I'm super happy with it. Even now it looks really great. In around 2018, I moved to Europe for the first time and I was living in Germany. Now my interests for tattoos were growing, so I was on holiday in Berlin and I thought, wow, there's a lot of great tattoo artists here. So I decided to walk in for a flash day and I got a flash from an artist at Sticks and Stones Berlin where I decided to guest. He's the owner, he's a really great guy, and I thought it was a nice way to get my foot in the door, just to experience what a different world of tattooing is in Europe, and just to talk to people and get to know them. Since I had such a good experience there, I decided, I think a year later or so, to book another tattoo from a guest artist that was coming from Spain, and I really wanted to get a big piece on my knee, and I thought a chrysanthemum would be really beautiful, as when you walk and the knee bends, it is quite a nice shape. And it was a full color piece. It took like 5 or 6 hours. By the end of it, I was dying, but he had to literally hold my leg down to finish the tattoo. But I'm super happy with it. It came out so solid, and for that time, he was very fast. In 2019, I started my tattoo apprenticeship, and it is very important to practice, and I decided to do a few tattoos on my left leg because it's very easy to reach. Although it's a very uncomfortable position, it still was good practice. And after I did these couple small tattoos, I did a little bit of a bigger one on my thigh, and it's a Hanya mask, and that was also quite tricky. I think even more tricky than the leg actually, because you had to bend even more over. But it was also definitely good to practice at a different placement rather than the ankle, because it's quite an easier skin that you don't need to stretch so much. Even after I graduated my apprenticeship, I have tattooed myself to try out a new machine, for example. So I think it's a good thing to do, but it is more painful because you have to focus and it's self-inflicting, so it's not really fun. I don't think I'll be doing it anymore, but it is good practice when you're learning or trying something new out. The last tattoo I did on myself was this little Tamagotchi. I made some flash and I really have nostalgia for Tamagotchi, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll just do it on myself because I got a new tattoo machine, the wireless one, and then I was like, yeah, why not, let's try it, see how it heals, then I can experience it before my clients do. Now I'll be talking about the biggest tattoo I have, which is a complete back piece that goes down onto my thigh. I got this tattoo by my mentor, and I'm really grateful that I could do it because I didn't actually have to pay anything for it. But in exchange for that, I told him, just do whatever you like. It's a funny story because he asked me one day, "Do you have space on your back?" And I was like, "Yes, why?" And he was like, "Do you want a back piece?" And I was like, hell yeah, why not? And this tattoo took over a year and a half to complete, and the back is quite painful, so I could only do 3, maximum 4 hours per session, and that's why it took so long. But also I do have a skin condition called psoriasis, so sometimes it's possible that it pops up during the healing process, and I preferred to wait a little longer for my body to relax and heal before the next session. During my apprenticeship in the second studio, I also got a few tattoos from different artists that were working there. I got this little hamtaro on the back of my ankle, which was kind of one of the most painful tattoos for some reason. And I got a nice piece from an artist on the side of my leg. This one took 9 hours because he filmed the whole process. Not even with a video, but through pictures. So I was getting tattooed and having to take a picture for like 9 hours, but I'm not complaining because I didn't have to pay anything for it. I just bought him some nice lunch. I also have this really cute Gigi on the back of my other ankle, and I really love it. I got him in memory of my cat. I mean, he's not dead or anything, but I thought it was really cute because I love Ghibli and Kiki's Delivery Service, and he's also a black cat. And while I was doing a guest spot in Spain, I got this really cute piece from No Face and a little kodama on the front of my leg. It was really nice. He was so sweet as well. It took like 2 hours or something. It was not painful. It's just nice to exchange tattoos with other artists. That's the nice thing about being a tattoo artist. You can get along and then just exchange some tattoos as memories. It's just a lot of fun. During my apprenticeship, I also got this really cute sushi tattoo because I really love salmon aburi. So I decided that I would like to add something to it because it felt a bit empty on my forearm. So I also got a really nice snake with some flowers, a little bit of a strange color combination, but I thought that it would be a bit more unique, and I really love pink and turquoise. Those are my 2 favorite colors. So I thought, why not? At the first tattoo convention in Amsterdam, there was also a guest artist coming from Japan, a friend of my mentor's, and he had some time, so I thought, it's really nice. So I decided to get this cute little bottle with a dragon in it, and it was really well done, and you could still see all the details and everything. And this mandala on the side is the first tattoo that I designed myself. I only designed 2 of them out of all my tattoos, but anyways, I just started getting into drawing, so I was really excited about the whole process, and I got it tattooed. After my tattoo apprenticeship, I exchanged a few tattoos with my partner, Obi Tattoos on Instagram, and for example, I got this cute octopus holding an ice cream and an umbrella, and a few little fillers like Suits Bride and an angry little cat. And I think it's quite nice. I also got tattoos on my hips by him. I really wanted something to complement this area of my body, so I'm also very happy with that. Having all these tattoos made me still feel pretty tattooless because, for example, in winter, if you would see me wearing a sweater, you wouldn't even see any tattoos. So I was like, okay, I really want a bigger one, maybe something on my chest and sternum. So I decided to reach out to a really lovely artist that was also working at the studio in Berlin to get a nice big piece from her. Now, I was scared to death about the pain because I have like no fat here. I mean, especially on the collarbone, it's just like really hard. And so I decided to use a numbing cream, and it did help with the pain, but I think the healing was actually pretty bad for like a normal tattoo. So I decided at this 3rd session to not use numbing cream anymore. The sternum was actually quite okay because I think it's a bit more softer on the skin. There's more kind of meat there, I guess. But the collarbone was really, really painful, and I had to get tattooed like this, like lying sideways. So it was not comfortable, it was very painful. But she was such a lovely artist, and unfortunately she stopped tattooing. So I had to get it finished by my colleague and also redo the line work and the color work because from the numbing cream it wasn't healing very well. Now my favorite tattoo out of all of them would probably be my last one, so this one. It's quite meaningful to me because I've moved around a lot and I lived in over 10 countries, and this is kind of like the roots of myself, let's say, that no matter where I am where I'm home. And then I flourish into like flowers pretty much, and I love hibiscus flowers, so I thought it was a nice thing to do for myself, to feel more like myself. And for me, getting tattooed for some reason always feels like as soon as I see it and we're done afterwards, it was kind of just meant to be there. I do have to say, now that I'm 26 years old, I am gonna be taking a break from getting tattoos because I feel like I'm slowly running out of space, and also I still want to be able to get tattooed when I'm like 30 or 35. And also the last piece was quite painful, so I think my body needs a break. I think in 2022 I got like 8 tattoos in 1 year, and like not all just small ones. So I was like, okay, I need to slow down a little bit. My plan for my next piece would definitely be this arm, but because I have this and this spot for my psoriasis, it's kind of preventing me from getting that sleeve. So maybe in the future, if it ever goes away, it would be nice. Then I can actually get a beautiful big sleeve, as over the years of getting tattoos, I really like bigger pieces much better than smaller ones. I think the impact of when you're standing far away and you can actually recognize what it is really beautiful. Not that you have to come up super close just to see what it is. So all in all, the most painful placements I would say for myself is the top of the shoulder over here, the rib cage, and the back of the ankle. It's not really the usual spots. Oh, and also the fingers. I have little dots on my fingers. These were done in like 5 minutes, but holy shit, the skin there is so thin, so it was really painful. All in all, that's a wrap for all my tattoos that I have so far. If you're curious about any of the individual pieces and you'd like to know which artist did them, just leave a comment and I will reply you. I hope you enjoyed this tattoo tour, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!